Hi, welcome to Business Basics with Brad. I'm Bradley Collegiate, the Executive Director here at the Linden Point Development Corporation and the eCenter. And today we're going to talk about cash. And as congratulations, you're on this journey. You're a founder, you're an entrepreneur, you're the CEO of your company. And the first thing you're going to learn is the most important job of any executive, any founder, any entrepreneur is not to run out of money. Now, in some cases, you might be at the stage where you need to make some money before you can worry about running out of it. But once you do start to bring in some revenue, and that's the goal of any company out there or even any organization out there, you have to have some kind of cash flow coming in. Your next goal is to not run out of that money. So as you hire, as you build, as you scale, you have to really understand your financials. Even if you have somebody else on your team who might be helping you manage that. And so what does that look like? You may want to think about different revenue streams for your company, always thinking about additional ways that you can pull in some additional capital. Maybe it's launching another product, another service, something that might be a little bit outside of what your standard process is, your standard business model. What that will do is that will kind of make your business, it'll give it some moats. And so what a moat is it kind of creates this area around your business and protects it in case, if you were an entrepreneur in the last few years, you're pretty aware of, for example, COVID was this huge hit on a lot of companies, a lot of businesses. If you only had one revenue stream and that one revenue stream was impacted by, the shutdown or something where, you didn't have extra cash on the side, it became a scramble in order to keep your business afloat. And then in the last couple of years, with any products or even in some service cases, companies are being hit right now with tariffs. And so what happens with that? As you get this increase in the tax, some companies aren't prepared for that. Their consumers aren't able to spend as much with them. Their overall revenues drops, and they haven't had really a great response in place because they only had one avenue that they were working through. So having multiple income streams, having multiple cash flows, in some cases it might not even just be your company. You might have to do that personally. In the early stages of having a startup, having a business, you might go a couple years without being able to pay yourself out of that business. And so, just always having that approach of making money in multiple different avenues. Most of the entrepreneurs that I work with, myself included, have always had, agency over their lives, and they have different companies that they're involved with, different income streams. I think that's a really good thing to have in place because, you never really know what tomorrow could bring for your company. It might take off and scale, or it might take a few more years for you to bring in some cash. But if you come down to the eCenter, we can obviously walk through and talk with you on building out all of these additional revenue streams and also discuss some ways that you personally can find ways to make money based on your skills and expertise. So stop on in. We'll be happy to set up a meeting.